You are listening to the We Hired a Sitter for This podcast.
We hired a sitter for this.
We have a roster of like 7 sitters.
I'm spending $3,000 on paints.
Do you go to therapy?
Never have, nah.
There was a small fire. I put it out.
Real talk, the stakes are too high with my baby.
Comedy, parenting, marriage, life.
We do it all.
I'm a dad and I'm busy.
I have an opinion. I don't know if it'll be right, but
I'm Patrick.
my name is Gastor.
We hired a sitter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with We Hired a Sitter for This, episode 138, I think, and we were just chit-chatting about what your life is like, and I wanted to hit record as soon as possible because you're saying so many fascinating things, which we don't have to go into too much detail. We're talking about jury duty. Gastor's been on jury duty
It's me.
for the last couple weeks. He's talking all about it on the War Report, his other show, his other podcast, so go stop this one now, go get caught up on his jury duty saga, but it's good to have you back, man. I missed you.
Thank you, man. Likewise, brother. I'm excited to be here, bro.
Doing your civic duty.
That's what I do, baby. You know what I mean? Civic G.
And Judge Judy gave you the day off today?
She gave me the week off.
Wow.
Real talk. I'm surprised at how, like, casual that part of it is. They're like, oh, you ain't free? You ain't free? All right, we not coming in.
Oh, really?
Straight up.
It's because the jurors are not free?
Like the first week, we were supposed to meet Tuesday through Friday. And I was embarrassed, but I brought it up. I was like, hey, listen, I got a show with my boy Patrick in Rhode Island.
Yes.
and they for real moved the whole trial.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy work. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I gotta go out of state. They're like, be careful. We need your consciousness on the stand.
Real talk. And he was like, yeah, okay, we'll keep that in mind. He wrote a little note down, and then I got picked. And then, like, before we left for the day, he was like, hey, just be, you know, I'm
and who's
aware.
this, the judge?
The judge was like,
Wow.
hey, listen, you know, you guys are officially jurors, but before you guys break off for the weekend, we're going to start the trial on Tuesday, and just want to know that I understand that some of you have scheduling conflicts. Don't worry about it. We will not meet on any day that you mentioned as promised.
That's hilarious.
Straight up.
What is the threshold for what warrants a day off?
And that's what's been blowing my mind. I said, like, yo, like, I gave a whole pitch.
Did you say you're a comic? By the way?
Yeah, I said I'm a stand-up comic. Like, that makes a part of my income. I have to be at the show.
Yeah.
You know, but like now, like last week, some dude was like, yo, I'm going to a wedding. You know.
And he's like, I'm not even in the wedding.
Yeah, he's not in the wedding. He's
I
just
barely
like,
know this person. They're like, you should have the day off.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that counts. So we can just do that, dude. This dude's on trial.
I like the idea of the judge being like, all right, where's the wedding? Oh, it's a beach town? Yeah, you should go.
You should go straight up.
Enjoy yourself.
And they bring them in one-on-one, so like we can't fully criticize. We only know kind of like what they share in the room.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like, but he's like, nah. He's like, I was gonna go to a wedding, you know? And he didn't even sound like he wanted to go to the wedding. It just. He was just talking about what was happening in his day. He's like, yeah, I gotta go to this wedding.
Yeah, he was actually on the fence about the wedding, but then the judge was like, you should really go.
Yeah.
You're gonna, you know, in several years, you'll be glad you went.
Yeah.
You'll probably regret it if you don't.
Look at that. Good judge, man.
And are you getting to know the other jurors?
So that's the thing. Like, we still haven't. The case hasn't finished.
Yeah.
So we don't really talk like that. So all we know about each other is like who are the who has, we could tell certain things about each other, like socially. Like when I walk in the room, I don't say what's up to nobody.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm all business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got a legal pad?
Nah, they don't let us have one no more.
You can't take notes.
They don't want notes.
Oh, wow.
But like when I walk in, like 10 people are always there. I always show up on time, but I don't show up early.
Right.
We got early birds.
Yeah.
We got cheerful people. Every time they walk in, they're like, good morning.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
what time are we talking?
9:30 you got to be in.
And this is in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
And is this a civil case? And stop me if you're not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
Civil case or like a state versus whatever? Like a criminal?
This is a criminal case, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like they're being prosecuted by the police, by the legal system. Okay. Interesting. Is it violent crime?
I can't
You can't
say
even
more.
say anything.
It's drama.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
And it's like on TV, you said.
Straight up, yo, people be getting heated. They be like, yo, objection, your honor. I object to her objecting. You know what I mean?
And you got to keep a straight face.
And I
like,
got to keep a straight
you're
face
just
the
like-
whole time.
You're like, this is so awesome. I'm
having the time of my life, yo.
I'm on NYPD Blue, but I can't let them know I'm enjoying myself.
Real talk. Yo, straight up, if you made it $80, you could make me a juror every day.
Oh, is that, you get a stipend?
You get $40 a day. It's too little.
Oh.
It covers the lunch and like your trip there, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, if you made it like $80 to $100, like I don't even need like a livable wage. I just need minimum wage.
I think that has come up. I think people have argued for like professional jurors should be a thing.
Real talk, man. I ain't mad at it. I definitely think it should pay minimum wage.
Yeah,
I think it's insane that like somebody has to take a day off of work and not every job covers it. I respect the civic duty part of it, but like it's nuts. You're getting $40.
What if you have to go to the bathroom during the case? Is that called a civic duty?
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I had to bring one dad joke in. I needed one dad joke to start this show. Well, man, so you got today off. You had Memorial Day off yesterday. You go back to the case tomorrow?
No, we back in next week. There's the wedding is on Friday for whoever that dude is.
And then somebody else has a christening the week after that.
Somebody has something on like Wednesday. I had a show on Thursday. And like that, and we each had there was like 2 people for Thursday, and he was like, "Yo, we just meeting next week." You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, somebody's sitting in jail, and they're like, "Man, these jurors are too busy for my case." Oh man,
right up, I do waiting, yo.
That's crazy. And what was I gonna ask? Yeah. So generally, my big question is, could this go on for a long time? Like, could this take up your whole summer?
In theory, I mean, I don't think it will. The judge like. I kind of thought that was funny too. He's like, yo, up front, he's like, I think it's gonna be like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like he read the notes of the case. He saw how many witnesses they were gonna bring out, and he was like, this should be like a 2-week case. And,
okay. Have you seen any expert witnesses?
Yeah,
yet?
Yo, straight up.
What do you think? That's a paid position, I've heard.
Oh, yo, that was fire.
If you're an expert in a field, you can like find a way to get a lot of money to appear for different defenses or prosecutions or whatever.
I would say we've had 2 expert witnesses.
Yeah.
And we've had expert witnesses. We had character witnesses. We had all the TV shit, yo.
It's like a movie.
Straight up,
wow.
yo. This is fire.
This is the Pelican Brief.
Yo, real talk, V. Denzel man somewhere, yo.
Yeah. Have you ever done background acting on a production?
I have not. I wish I had. I don't know if I could do it. I feel like I'm too like identifiable.
No, well, you'd be good at it because you are an everyman kind of person.
Yeah.
But you're too talented for it. It's too you should be in the scene for whatever you're going to be in. But what makes me think of this is when you're on set doing background work, you meet people that you realize soon after talking to them that this is what they do. Like they're on sets every day of the week. They know which productions have which shows and how much they pay and which ones let you get food at the good food tent and which ones just give you granola bars, and some of them know each other for years and years and years.
Whoa.
And they all give each other tips on who's hiring, who's casting, and you realize there's this whole community of people doing this very unfulfilling work and very unrewarding work. It's doesn't pay well at all. It probably works out to about $40 a day. If you were going on 8 hours, you get a little bit more. I mean, it's more like $150 a day or whatever, but they can
got
be
the days off and all of that.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder if there are people who are seeking out jury duty. Like if there are jury duty lifers and professionals who work the system somehow.
I'm in.
That could be you.
I had a blast doing this. I thought I was supposed to be a stand-up. I'm supposed to be a juror.
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sold on this job
because you're literally being told to judge other people.
Yeah, I love it.
That's kind of fun,
and it's you get to decide who stays outside.
Yeah,
like, I've been parenting for years. This is what I've been waiting for. Real talk.
Yeah,
you grounded forever.
Do you feel that this one is clear how you feel about it and how you will vote? Is it a vote?
It's a vote. I don't know how the judge hasn't given us the rules yet. I'm sure if you're like a legal expert, you know what I'm supposed to do. Like I don't know if it's like everybody got to agree or majority.
Yeah.
Right now, I would assume. So I think he's guilty, but
So
I don't think
he. It's a he.
Yeah, it's a he. I think he's guilty, but I don't think it's been proven.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
And that's the thing about the American justice system is you can go do a horrible crime. Maybe you kill your wife and her new boyfriend on her patio in Los Angeles.
Maybe.
And you do it brutally. But if they can't prove it, you might
Keep
get
holding
off.
your Heisman, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You might be able to go on a nice long drive in your Bronco and get some attention for it.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely know the jurors like they want to get this done. There's like 4 people that's like, yo, I gotta get back to work.
Yeah.
And
do you know anything about the other jurors' professions? Are there other comics? There's so many comics in New York City. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to be in a jury box with another comic.
Nah, I mentioned this with Shot. One of the jurors recognized me.
Oh, that's
like
interesting.
They took attendance and he heard my name. He was like, yo, you a comedian?
Yeah.
So that was weird for me for a second, but he's been cool.
That's
thankfully.
hilarious.
But I don't know the other people's jobs. I haven't asked. There's one lady that seemed to have like some type of housing management type thing.
Yeah.
She be yelling at people on the phone during the breaks.
Really?
She's like, get that plumber over there.
Well, you should say, hey, I'm a super also. I know what you're going through.
Now I'm sticking to my brand. Because they're letting me sleep. Like I told them, I was like, yo, like, unless I'm recording a podcast, I'm normally sleeping during these hours.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, every time we on break, I take naps and nobody bothers me. I'm snoring in the courthouse.
Are you napping in a vertical position?
I'm napping, fully sitting up, snoring.
Yeah.
Like, I've snored in court several times. But I've been lucky enough that so far, from what they tell me, I've only snored when the judge has stepped out.
Right.
So, like, the judge and the lawyers haven't heard me.
Yeah,
the dude on trial definitely heard me. Like, he knows I'm tired.
The defense might use that as evidence. They might say, "Hey, we got to throw this case out. One of the jurors been snoring the whole time."
Yo, they got alternates. So if they want to kick me off for sleeping, it's cool.
So wait, there's alternates just sitting there taking it all in.
Yeah.
And very potentially they won't even get to vote.
Real talk. There's 3 of them, just in case.
Let me ask you this. So you are a little more familiar with the streets
the
way the streets work and the laws of the streets. What do people say? Laws of the streets, rules of the streets, customs, mores of the streets. Is there any, like, if you get on a jury, is there any sort of, like, you're a snitch? Is there any snitching type anything to this?
Admittedly, I don't. In this particular case, I don't think anybody would care.
Yeah.
I think I could see there being certain crimes where it would be a problem.
Yeah.
I would love for that type of person to, like, bring it up to the judge and the lawyers as a reason to be excused
during the interview process.
Yeah. I can't be a juror in this case. I'm a Crip. You know what I mean? I know that dude blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
want to be unbiased, and I don't like the Bloods in general. So respectfully, I'd rather take care of him outside.
Yeah.
You know.
To your point about this being a civic duty, that is, it's important to, like, just do what we're supposed to do as adults and be a part of the justice system, which we have all seen how messed up the justice system can become, especially against certain populations. So it's important to do it. So thank you for doing it. But I will say I am one of those people who did whatever I could to talk myself out of it.
Damn shame.
I think the last time I was called for jury duty, I was like early 20s, like somewhere between 20 and 22, because I think I was still in school. It might have been my senior year of school.
Oh, so you got to be due.
What? Yeah, probably. Ross got a letter recently. I haven't gotten a letter in a long time.
Patrick Holbert.
Yeah. Call me up. Because I want this show now. It sounds relaxing.
Sincerely, honestly, it's fun. It's not. I won't go as relaxing.
Yeah.
It's actually tense.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
Like I get riled up. That's been the hardest part. Like when I get hyped, I can't act tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've been used to it as a stand-up. Like, yo, that was fire. Good joke. You know what I mean? I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know? I can't tap my fellow juror like, yo, you saw that? Yo. I want to so bad. Every court, yo. It's been tense in that regard. But
you're like, that guy's like Robert Kardashian. No, what I was gonna say is I talked myself out of it by saying, so they were interviewing us as potential jurors, and I said, well, I recently was a part of a legal case. I was at a party. There was a huge fight, and this is all true. There's this huge fight at a party I was at, and it turned into this legal case. And my friend whose house it was, they were really coming down hard on, like, the lawsuits were like kind of crazy, and I really felt bad for them. So I just said I don't believe in the justice system as a whole, like, because I was involved in this other civil case, because it was a civil case I was being interviewed for. I said I just kind of disagree with the litigious nature of civil cases in general, because my friend is in the middle of one right now, and it's really, really bad for him. And I basically, like, over overstated. I think I might be committing a crime right now by admitting that
Patrick Holbert.
Yeah, I just exaggerated like how I felt about cops basically and the legal system. But
I dig that.
But now I was 22. Now I'm 43. I think I would like. I'd like this experience. I assume the air conditioning's excellent.
Yeah, everything's comfortable. My biggest complaint in terms of comfort is the bathroom situation.
Oh yeah.
The bathrooms are nice. They're clean, but in order to keep it in like the integrity of the case, the bathrooms we could use are in the room that we wait in.
Oh.
So like we can't use like any bathroom in the building.
In the hallway.
In the hallways because you might bump into a lawyer or someone in
or
the case.
Or a family member.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey.
Yo, I got
Ricky.
yelled at because I tried to use a regular bathroom at the end of the day. I thought like, yo, it's after 5. Rules are done. Like the dude came like, he ran like 100 feet from his desk to get me out the bathroom.
Wow.
And like he told me, he's like, nah. And he wasn't mean about it, but he was like, nah, they should have told you.
I
like,
wonder if people like accept bribes.
Oh, I'm
way.
sure.
Like there's like money being
You won't be
handed.
watching Law and Order, B? Come on, son. People should go down in the bathroom, son.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Nah, so I get it. But like in turn, like it's too intimate. 11 people got to hear me take a piss every time. Like it's crazy. I haven't had any solid foods before court because I'm scared to take a shit in there.
Yeah, it's
I don't want that smell lingering in the room.
It brings you back to like first grade anxiety because in elementary school there's a bathroom in the classroom.
That's crazy work.
And you just start not going number 2 at school.
Nah, I went number 2 in school. So I didn't care in first grade.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I care. You know, that's weird work. So I just drink juice and water. I have like green tea and water the whole court case, and I eat as soon as I leave.
You're doing the
I'm intermittent fasting because of court.
Justice system diet. Wow.
Real talk.
So it's averaging like 4 days a week then? Or
I would say 3. They're intending 4, but something has always come up.
And how's the parking?
I've been taking the train. Train's phenomenal.
Wow, you're back to the train though.
I had to. It was like I took a Uber there the first day because I was so late.
Yeah.
And it took like an hour and 10.
Ooh.
And then I took the train home, and it took 30 minutes.
We're talking Adam Street, downtown Brooklyn?
Yeah, and it's it's by everything. So you got like the colleges over there. It's a nice little scene in general. It's a nice little park.
Ross and I got married a block away from there.
Oh, respect. Hell yeah.
At Hill Country Barbecue, which is now a Korean barbecue place or something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's fun, man.
Nah, I've been having a blast, sincerely. Everybody should do it. It's a good time, man. Sign up for the email list.
What is your pitch to people, to New Yorkers, to citizens of America? What's your pitch and explanation why you should say yes to jury duty and not treat it like a nuisance?
As New Yorkers, we have a lot of perks that come with living here. We got access to great food, great culture, the arts, and all that New York wants to do is give you more of that. You get a free show, free Broadway show, 2 hours a day minimum,
pure drama. Stakes are high.
Behind the scenes shots, you're seeing everything,
and
for not only free, you're getting paid.
And it's reality TV.
Reality TV.
This is not a plot.
How much would you pay to see this if it was on Broadway on stage? $200-$300.
Yeah.
For one night. Here I'm getting entertained 3 days a week. I come home, I got all the gossip.
You might also, though, have been blessed with a good cast. Maybe the lawyers, the defense, and the prosecution. Maybe you got good at the judge. Sounds like a character.
I can see that.
Are we getting a lot of action from the bailiffs and the court officers?
And that's fair. But you know what? Sometimes you buy a bad book.
Yeah.
And you still read the books. Sometimes you see a bad movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. But like the good ones are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm telling you, it's worth being a juror. It's dope. And yeah, you get to do a good thing. You get to like legit be a member of society that did their civic duty.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Somebody's going away for a long time, and you get to be like, yep, he deserved to do that, or she deserved to do that. And by the same token, the opposite. You know what I mean? Somebody that like should have been considered more. You could be the patient person that considers them when everyone else is trying to end this case to go home early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That person needed you.
Have you watched 12 Angry Men in a long time? Have you ever seen it?
I feel like I saw that movie.
That's a classic. It's a black and white.
Is Santa in that for some reason?
I don't know. You might be conflating Miracle on 34th Street and 12 Angry Men because I think there's some actor crossover in those films. But yeah, you should start watching court dramas just to prepare for voting day. Are you the jury foreman?
Nah. I don't. You know, and that's the other thing. I haven't figured out if we've picked one, if it's automatically assigned based on seat.
I mean, it should go by Instagram followers, and
I'm
that
not
would
sure
make
I'd
you
win
number
that.
one.
I don't know. There might be a sleep on
There
the
might
thing.
be like an influencer.
Yeah, you never know. There's a couple people with laptops every day, and like they're bringing in like what's that book? I saw somebody had Save the Cat.
Oh,
So I was like, okay, you might be writing. I saw somebody with How to Light Scenes book.
oh, okay.
You know,
That's a filmmaker.
So there's artists in there.
Yeah. Have you been working on your own work? Are you writing bits? Are you doing your flashcards for your upcoming show? June 20th,
Come out,
2024.
Amen.
Gastor's
Appreciate
doing
you.
his solo show at St. Mark's Comedy Club.
Out here trying things, baby.
Big
Doing it up.
Big workout hour. Workout, or this is going to be this is the show?
Nah, this is a workout. It's I was running the show a lot like about a year and a half ago. Did some reworking. Still doing reworking.
Back in the lab, as they say.
I had to take it back into the kitchen. You know what I mean? Change the recipe a little bit, bring it back out.
Take a little fructose out of it. I
Yeah,
assume.
you know?
Glucose.
You got to.
Because this is the diabetes show. Or do you not want to say what show this is?
No, it is. Yeah, I'm running a new version of the sugar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Switched up the promo art so y'all can see it. You know what I mean?
love it.
I'm sitting down now, so I'm tired.
Speaking of the sugar, with this court business and taking the train, tell me about the steps.
The steps actually go up.
Yeah.
Because, like, you got to take Broadway Junction.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm getting in 6,000 steps minimum every day.
That's great.
It's been fantastic.
Nice.
Straight up. You. It's been good. Like, by Friday, I'm sore. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is a lot more walking than I've done in a long time.
Yeah.
Everybody should take the train just for that reason. Like, it's a good, like, guarantee of a minimum workout.
Yeah, you know what Freddie G used to do? He would take the train to his whatever appointment, whether it was a gig or a job or a show, whatever it was, and he would get off the train a stop early to walk the rest of the way there.
Oh.
That's how Freddie G was life hacking more steps into his day.
So that's the Freddie G. I know he was like he went on the keto thing and like people kept because I we're friends with Freddie G.
Yeah.
So like people would hit me up like they didn't know that he was dieting.
Right.
So like,
is he sick?
Yeah, like because like people were hitting me up just asking me like weird questions about Freddie G. They're like, yo, like your boy was eating cold cuts out of his book bag on the train. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, your boy Freddie G, right? That's your man's, right? And I was like, yeah. So I gotta own him because that's my dude. But the question was off. They're like, yeah, I caught him eating like turkey out of his bag or something. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I guess he likes turkey.
Like, he had a live chicken in his laptop bag. He took it out and he bit its throat like a vampire and he just drank the blood. You're like, oh, he's fine.
Real talk. And then like I went and asked, he's like, yeah, I'm doing this whole thing. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Hilarious.
But like from outside, I understand why it's a question.
Yeah.
You know? But yo, look at him now. Homie down like 80 pounds or some shit. Yeah, he got a six-pack.
He looks like a welterweight boxer.
Real talk, yo.
So are you getting at jury duty, do you have enough downtime to write parts of the show? Are you doing some of the sugar at the show?
So I've been working there, but I will say that like the stuff I've gotten has not applied to the show.
Yeah.
I've been trying to stay present. So like whatever I've come up with there, I've gotten some good stuff from it, but not for the sugar in particular.
Right.
That's actually why this like week has been helpful. Like we had the weekend off. Cause like I was having trouble. Like I need to dedicate some time to the sugar now. You know, it's crunch time to like review again. So all the stuff that I had written before, I've kind of been working on it this past week. And thankfully, I do think the case will wrap up soon and I'll be able to like hunker down on just that.
Yeah.
All the sets I have from now until then are all related to that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be running it in chunks until the week of. So I'm excited.
Good. Yeah, June 20th. I'm going to come. Well,
Thank
at least
you,
it's in my calendar. So
as long been about to go to one of my shows for like a year.
It's crazy. No, There's no real excuse except life is busy.
He sees me though. I don't.
Yeah.
We do shows together, so
Yeah.
you don't need to see me at another. You know my spiel.
Well, this is a big deal. June 20th, y'all got to come. St. Mark's Comedy Club. They're doing a lot of great stuff there.
Real talk, man.
They're about to make a podcast studio in there.
Oh, respect.
Yeah.
Everything but the restaurant they started with. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
More proof that vegan food is fake, okay? He started as a vegan restaurant.
This is your flat earth theory?
Real talk, yo. It's not. It's nobody wants it.
Yeah.
I agree. Vegetables are good. I'm not saying don't eat vegetables. They're healthy. But like only vegetables is wild work.
You know what I miss about that restaurant is the the empanada that has plantains in it and beans and cheese. That is like a dessert empanada. Speaking of Freddie G, speaking of desserts, today, if I get to bed tonight with no junk food, meaning ice cream, cookies, donuts, anything like that I love, this will be day 5, no junk food.
Whoa.
I'm going for it.
Whoa.
I hit a rock bottom last week, and I'm just like, I gotta try this.
What happened?
So it's just like sneaking, like could not go outside to like walk the dog or leave from here to go home or like whatever without getting I started a daily M&M's bag thing in the middle of the day. Like if I eat food for lunch that's got like saltiness or whatever, I'm like, I need some M&M's after this. My body is like literally like obsessed with getting some M&M's, which is not that bad.
Right.
But then nightly, it's like a pint of ice cream every single night.
Whoa.
On the couch, sometimes as late as like midnight, because if I'm out doing a gig, I come home, I walk past the deli, I get that craving in my body. Like my body does stuff. That's the only way I can describe it. Like when I see the Golden Arches on the highway or Dunkin' Donuts, my body starts doing shit, and I'm just like, if I don't stop this nightly pint, or if we're on the road, we were on the road. I got a little milkshake that day. That I wasn't too worried about that. But
yeah, I thought you did good on. I've never seen you like do something wild on the road.
My binging, my junk food binging is typically kind of not secretive, but it's like I find little ways to make it like, well, if nobody sees me eating this, did I really eat it?
Ooh.
But I'm doing that like 3 times a day.
Yeah,
it's the M&Ms and donuts. The donuts, that little cylinder pack of little tiny. Oh man, that's my shit in the day, and then at night, had a long day. I deserve this, and I'm like, I'll just have a little of the ice cream, but then the whole pint is here.
What ice cream?
Haagen-Dazs, Ben and Jerry's. Sometimes I'll do a Chipwich and a Klondike. I justify that. I'm like, well, it's just a Chipwich and a Klondike. These don't equal a pint of ice cream. That's better than that. But then like those are like the No Frills brand, like Bodega brand ice creams, where I'm just like, these chemicals can't be good for anybody. Meanwhile, Haagen-Dazs, I actually do think is the healthiest option, because there's like 4 ingredients on there. But nobody should be eating the whole like, it's like literally a day's worth of like
calories.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to pull it together, because my body hurts in the mornings. I've been lurking on the sugar-free Reddit subreddit for 2 years now. I've been lurking there, just trying to get the motivation, like seeing what works for other people. People talk about like mental clarity, physical, like improvements with inflammation and skin stuff and breathing.
Are you feeling it?
It's the foot pain it's probably, I talked to a lot of people about the foot pain thing. They're like, it's probably not related to your sugar intake. But I have this conspiracy theory that like maybe my capillaries in my feet are not giving my feet the right blood flow. So like my feet ache every single morning. But I think that's more because of our lifestyle. We're in the city. We're running around all day. It's concrete everywhere. I wear these old man sneakers, but it's going to catch up with you, So So anyway, I'm trying to cut out the junk food.
I find that like a day of like just fruits and vegetables like hit like a reset button for me. Like Gabby will make me like a brolic salad.
Brolic?
Yeah, like a mixing bowl's worth of salad.
Yeah.
Crazy big.
Yeah, I love that.
And then I'll get like a tangerine and some blueberries.
Yeah.
And like the substantialness of it has me really full.
Yes.
and like the set. And so everybody, there's people out there that enjoy salads. I'm not gonna lie to you, I hate salads. I don't find them fun.
Yeah.
But the amount of it that it is, kind of like resets my palate. And then when I have like a tangerine, it's like, oh, this is delicious.
Yeah.
So like it like resets my sweetness palate.
Yes.
So like I always eat it in that order, and like for like the next couple weeks, I'm able to like not eat junk food.
Yeah.
Cause like I'm like, oh, okay, this is a normal sweet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like I'm not craving a M&M or a Cinnabon or some shit.
Right.
Where like it's synthetic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and that's I've been joking with Ross the last couple days because I'm like, hey, I don't eat sugar anymore, so these cashews are I'm really tasting the natural sweetness to them, and it's really a pleasure if you can get yourself to stop eating processed sugar. You'll learn how to enjoy the real whole foods in life.
Amen.
But I am actually I look forward to what you're describing with the pleasure of enjoying real fruit.
Real talk, like a pear tastes really good after like you've eaten 3 bowls of broccoli.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had like steamed broccoli, then I'll have a fruit, and I'm like, oh, this is delicious.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you gotta torture yourself first a little bit.
Yeah, totally. And and what's good is like now, so I've been lurking in that Reddit group, but I started posting it. This is how, I don't know why, and I talk so openly. I talk so openly about alcoholism and getting sober and like keeping track of that sober time. For some reason, I feel so ashamed to like post about the sugar stuff online that I created a second Reddit account to just post in the sugar group.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I wanted to just count. I figured maybe if I count days on there, like I posted on day 1, I wrote like, hey, it's my day 1. I feel like shit. I don't want to do this anymore.
That was real.
And then I got a lot of support, which I've experienced in the rooms for, sobriety stuff. Like, that's how it works. You talk about how you're feeling that day, and other people say, yeah, I remember when I felt that way, and you'll get through it, And it's working. And so I posted on day 1 and on day 3 and interacted with people that said kind things. And then just yesterday I looked on there and somebody wrote in the group, why are people counting days in this group? Like, this is just a lifestyle choice. I don't think we should count days here. Blah blah blah. So I started a fight. Is what I'm getting. I didn't get involved with that
drama,
one, but yeah. So
the sugar addicts.
There's people. Yeah, that's the thing. Some people identify as like sugar addicts, and then other people are like, well, we're just like healthy people who have made this decision, which I respect. I respect both things, but I'm definitely like an addict, and I know it'll just keep getting worse, and I don't think I'm not gonna have ice cream again forever, and I don't know that that's what I want, but I'm very much in this day at a time attitude right now. I'm like, I'll just try to get to bed tonight without having it, and then deal with tomorrow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So
I think you're gonna make it, man.
Thank you.
Real talk.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I appreciate this being a safe space.
Yeah, man. I think that's beautiful. Real talk. I hope that whenever you do have sweets, it's the best shit ever. You know, like that was really the only issue I was having. What you were saying, like the rolls of donuts, they're fine, but there's better donuts, B.
Oh no, that's the thing. I like trash.
That's what I'm saying. That's bad.
I mean, I like really good stuff too, but there's something that feels like deviant about eating a sleeve of donuts. I'm just like, these were baked in a commercial oven like weeks ago, months ago. Who the fuck knows how old these things are?
I have the opposite issue. Like in New York, I want to try everything amazing.
Yeah.
So like we had there's a sandwich spot around here, Anthony and Sons.
Yeah.
Right? A great sandwich place, Brooklyn, like legacy shit. And like they got like 40 sandwiches. Mm-hmm. So like every time I'm like here, I'm like, I should get a sandwich and work my way through the menu. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I'll go home, like I bought 2 sandwiches. I come home, like, yo, we got sandwiches. And then like Gabby and my son will eat a sandwich. So I'm like, yo, I didn't get to try that sandwich. I gotta buy that sandwich again. Yeah. You know, and like now I'm like 6 heroes in. You know, and like their heroes are brolic. Yeah. You know, so like, but stuff like that in New York is like the issue for me. That like we have like genuine access to the best of all the foods. Yeah. So I don't want to die and miss a sandwich or miss a pastry or some shit. There's a place that went like viral during like the quarantine.
The Cronut? Or no, this is post Cronut.
Yeah, nah. It was like during the lockdown. They were like, it was a French dude that like he missed croissants from back home, and he just started making croissants during the lockdown. And he just wanted to perfect the croissant that he missed from being a kid. Yeah, that he couldn't have in New York, and he couldn't just keep eating them, so he started giving them away locally. Yeah, and it became a thing, and people started going to his house to buy them, and like they just ended up opening a pastry shop of French pastries, and it's called like Apartment 4L or something like that. Like it's named after his apartment now. Yeah, but like it's the shit, and like. I don't even want to go there because like everything on the IG look crazy. Right. You know what I mean? But like also, like places like that don't like last forever. Like they're like a moment. It's
a flash in the pan.
Yeah, you know, it's a beautiful thing that like somebody created, and like I'm like, yeah, I don't want to like miss that thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. See, I only got FOMO for food now. I'm realizing.
FOMO for food is not a bad title for your sequel to the sugar.
Real talk, part 2, baby. I like that.
And that's the thing. I'm trying to be more gentle with myself right now with this. Like the year after Ross and I got married, I went through the same thing Freddie did. Freddie will do bits about this. He saw himself in his wedding pictures and he realized he needed to make some changes. That's exactly what happened with me. So like 6 months after we got married, I went on a crazy fitness and health kick for like literally just 5 weeks because it was so intense. That's as far as I can get. And I can't do that again because I know that won't work for me either. So like my thing is like I definitely will have a croissant. I'm gonna try to avoid it for now, but like right now it's like if I just stay away from ice cream and cookies and donuts, that's okay. Good enough.
That's
for
a win.
Me right
Hell
now.
Yeah. I'm with you, bro.
Like I had a protein bar yesterday that had a little chocolate chips in it. Whatever. It was like a desperation. I'm out in the city running around. I'm starving kind of situation. But yeah, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Anyway,
we getting better on this pod.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, that's what I think. I'm getting into this idea of like how do I want to feel in 20 years when my kid is out in the world doing all the stuff, having a big life. I hope. Like I want to see what she's gonna do, you know. And I want to be able to maybe even go with her places and like. You know, I'll be 63 in 20 years, and I want to be one of those spry, like fit, skinny, weird old dudes who are like hanging out too long, you know?
Okay. I gotta see, this is where I disagree with people. I like looking like Kingpin. Yeah. That shit is dope. I have I know I'm not the spry dude in terms of like jogging. Yeah. But like I make sure that I could do certain movements. Yeah. So like every day I do like one push up. I just want to know I could do one.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean? I do a cartwheel once a year. People think I'm bullshitting. Every New Year's, come to my backyard, you'll see me do a cartwheel.
The whole neighborhood comes out. I'm gonna sell tickets.
You
to
think
the
I'm
next
bullshit?
One.
I've been doing it like no lie for like 25 years. I started in high school.
Do people record it?
Not anymore.
Do you remember speaking of pandemic? Do you remember the milk crate challenge?
Yeah,
on the internet. This is gonna be the cartwheel challenge.
Straight up, just to like know I still can. You know what I mean?
But what about the day that you can't?
And that'll tell me something. That'll be the day I start the like this whole workout thing you want.
And you don't. Well, that's the thing too. I'm not working out yet. But I went to a meeting this morning. Somebody was talking about working out, and I was like, maybe I can do that. Yeah. But actually, your one push-up a day thing, I don't know if you're joking or not.
I'm so sincere.
But that's where my body is right now. I'm out of shape. I'm weak. I want a rollerblade. Franny won't let me rollerblade. She yelled at me about rollerblading the other day.
Why?
I was like, hey, maybe I'll put on my rollerblades. You get your scooter. We'll go to the park together. She's like, no, you can't rollerblade because I want a rollerblade. I'm like, it's hard. I got to teach you. We got to get them. We don't have them. And
that's awesome.
She was like, she put the kibosh on me rollerblade. But yeah, I got to do one push up maybe before we finish.
Real talk. It's the first thing I do in a day. When I wake up, I just roll out of bed. I look at the floor. I do a push up. Like, all right, today's not the day. I'm good, and I can still do a push up.
Do you ever do 2 push ups? Do you ever say might as well 2?
Always
I'm down
just
here.
one. Just do one push up. I'm not trying. I just want to know I'm not like incapable of getting up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the one thing I do like, I have a slam ball and a punching bag at my parents' house, slam ball at my house.
Yeah.
So whenever I visit my parents, I throw some punches. They down the block, so I see them like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And the slam ball, I throw it every time I like get in and out of like my office.
That's like a medicine ball? Like
yeah, it's a medicine ball, but it doesn't bounce.
Okay.
So like you could throw it as hard as you want on the floor and it stays there.
Yeah.
And it gives you the feeling of like breaking something,
like
if
power.
you will. Yeah. So like whenever I'm like done with my office for the day, I grab the slam ball and I throw it on the floor.
See, my situation is I am the slam ball. I've been thrown. I feel like I've been thrown and I hit the ground and I haven't moved in like 2 years.
Okay.
Like that's where my body feels like if I have to do anything quickly, like I played catch the other day in Central Park with a football.
Okay.
I could barely throw the football correctly. I like couldn't figure out the coordinate, and I have a good arm with most sports, but my body felt all crooked and like asymmetrical, and like I could catch fine, but the couple times I bobbled it and I had to run after it, there were times I literally am like doing a slow run after a rolling football and took a couple attempts to like actually pick it up off the ground. I also had a fall recently. Did I talk about this?
Whoa, no.
I feel like I talked about this. Maybe I was just telling somebody about it. We went grocery shopping, picked Franny up from school in the stroller. Or no, in the car. Yeah, it was in the car. And we just, because we knew we had to go to the grocery store, pick her up in the car, drive around the block to the Associated on Hart near Broadway. We go in, get a couple heavy bags of groceries, put them in the car, drive back home, and we park. And I put 2 bags of groceries on my arm. And I'm also trying to like lean in to undo her buckles on the car seat. And as I was sort of walking in reverse, my foot caught the curb and I like fell, but like slowly fell. And the weight was weird on my arms and I couldn't like grab anything. And I just like kind of was like, it was like a cartoon. I was just like slowly going down and not making any sound. I was just like, and it felt like I was falling for like 30 seconds. The bags hit the ground and I had 2 big glass bottles of like soda water that Ross wanted and they both break. And like, I just fell in such a weird way. And then getting back up felt all fucking awkward and weird. And I was like, I felt old, like in this weird way, and I was like, man, I'm like out of shape, and it uncoordinated is I guess what it felt like, and I'm like, now I got to dump all the groceries out of the bags to like resort them because there's broken glass and soda water and everything, and I was just like, damn, what was that like? And I've had a couple of stumbles where I'm like, am I losing my balance and like
you might be.
What is that word? It's
the
like,
iPhone checks that for you now. You know that? Yeah. It tells you like your fall probability.
Really?
Yeah, like it tells you like how likely you are to fall. And it's like part of the way that they could tell like your age health.
Oh.
It like the older you are, the more likely you are to A, to fall, and to B, the longer it takes you to recover from a fall.
Yeah.
So like they try to like, that's part of why they're encouraging steps, because it improves that part of it. So yeah, but you might be physically older than you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't like how that feels. So I'm like, maybe this is a good first step to like get the food stuff a little bit in order. I know I'm not gonna be perfect. But.
So I'm rooting for you, and it's something you want. I want you to have it, but like, I don't view it as uncoordinated so much as like recoordinated.
Yeah.
You know, I'm differently coordinated, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when I saw The Sopranos, I never once believed that Tony could tie his shoe.
Uh-huh.
But I also knew he could kick somebody's ass.
Right.
That's what I'm going for. Like, you're right. Yeah. I'm not bending over anymore. Yeah. But, like, if we got a problem, we could solve it.
Yeah. And
I feel like that's differently coordinated.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And when he was younger, he was the kind of athletic you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
But when I saw that guy, I never once felt, oh, he's weaker or incapable. I just think he's differently capable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's dad capable.
Yeah. Well, we always talked about old man strength.
Yeah.
Like my dad, tying the shoes is a good example. Like I actually think he would be huffing and puffing if he had to bend over in a chair and tie his shoes. But he will take the tire, a massive tire off a tractor by himself
all day
in the 90-degree summer heat multiple times a day. Yeah.
Real talk. If I drop something in my office under my desk, I call my kids.
It's gone.
Straight up. Like, yo, you got to come get this for dad. But I throw out like 40 bags of trash by myself every day. You know what I mean? So like,
and if you were approached in the street, you could
land
a couple right hooks.
Real talk. By the same token, if you tackle me, it's gonna be a floor fight for the rest of the way. Like I accept that. Like it just is what it is. If I gotta chase you, you winning. You know what I mean? I ain't putting up a running situation on you.
But if a paperclip ends up under the rolling chair,
call me Kayla. You know,
just start making funeral plans.
Real talk. I actually wait till 3 things fall under my desk before I call the kids at this point.
Yeah, I assume they made that rule. They're like, Dad, you gotta
come on, B. Every day I gotta come get something from under there.
Make a list and let us know on Friday what is under there.
But straight up, I don't get nothing under there no more. It shit hurts. I gotta get on my knee. The floor's hard.
Yeah.
Nah, B. But I also know that like, whenever somebody scary walks, through the neighborhood and bangs on the door at 2 a.m., they don't call Aiden, they call me.
Right.
You know what I mean? He got a 6-pack, but they don't call that little kid, they call me.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good distinction to make.
Yeah. So like, I'm saying that to say that like, I know you're not in the shape you were, but don't dismiss what you're capable of doing now.
For what it's worth, I'm also not the person anybody's calling for physical defense. Although I did actually recently feel the ancient violence rise up in me.
Okay.
I almost wanted to knock somebody out at the Grizzly Pear. This guy was drunkenly heckling multiple comics, and at one point I thought he was approaching the stage, and I actually wanted him to, because I was like, I want to grab that guy and throw, because he was very drunk. I was like, I want a reason to throw that guy down.
Right. Yeah.
And that felt exciting.
Yeah.
Like, it feels exciting to want to knock somebody out.
I think it's a real visceral need. I think genuinely people need physical contact and sport. I think it's one of the few things we've gotten wrong societally.
Yeah.
I do not believe that fighting is the first answer. I do think it's an answer.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the first answer. And I think that we've overcorrected. And I do think the intention's right. I do think we've taught kids not to fight. And I think that we've taught people not to fight. And I think that's overall better.
Yeah.
But there is like a need for physical contact, A. B, societally, I think men communicate differently.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have the same not only access, but just cultural moments where like we hug and like physical contact is healthy, and contact sports create opportunity for that, where we learn, like this is a boundary. And it's a weird way to learn it, maybe, sure, but I know that it's a way that guys learn it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a need for that more than people realize. And when you go 10, 20, 30 years without it, I think you start having moments where you're like, y'all got to hit somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't realize why. And it's just because you ain't hug a dude.
Yeah.
like
yeah. And it comes out in weird ways.
Yeah.
Before I respond to that, I think what you just said, that statement will be an excellent closing statement for when you are elected jury foreman. Before you give the verdict, you should just say, we have lost something important as men. And give your speech about physical violence. And then deliver the verdict.
I say we let him go, but we fuck him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're all going to go out back onto Livingston Avenue Street. I think the courts are on Livingston Street. I love that part of Brooklyn.
It's legit beautiful, man.
Yeah.
They got like, that park area in between like the schools and the courthouse is gorgeous.
Yeah, and those gardens up walk that mall. Also, did you watch the Nexium documentary?
Nah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a cult. It's a cult thing.
What would make you think I watched that? What's the
Well, the guy in charge of this cult was in the jail. There's like a Brooklyn courthouse and jail right over there. That's like a little bit like it's a big tall building, and you wouldn't even know it's a jail, but he was right there.
Oh, look at that.
Anyway, I think men sometimes it's good to just clear up a situation with a quick little scrap. But what do you think about the pop culturalization of violence with like the UFC and things like that? Do you think, like, we got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson about to square off? if Mike Tyson rebounds after this health scare. What do you think of that? Do you think that's a viable, or do you think that's an appropriate thing for us to be celebrating as a culture?
Yeah, I think we're seeing what the peak of these two men physically is capable of. A, B. I think it's beautiful that we're celebrating athleticism in its 50s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's an angle that I don't think enough people are talking about. I think we regularly take these super talented people who are great at a sport and only highlight them in their 20s and their peak, and I get that, but then we make them identify as this thing solely and then cast them aside forever. Tyson, I think, is still a brilliant boxer technically, and it's great to just see the technical skill of that even at his age. I think there's something to learn from that. I think there's something to be celebrated about seeing someone healthy in his 50s and 60s still do something great, even if it's not the 20-year-old version of that. I think it's kind of cool to see someone spar without the intention of death. There's something in that of just the sportsmanship of it, of yo, I think I could beat you at this thing, and I'm gonna still shake your hand after. We all gonna make money.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's way more good in this than people realize. There's the silliness aspect of it, sure, that it's a YouTuber who maybe isn't the peak of the sport. So I give you that. There's people who legitimately dedicated their lives to be boxers, and they're not the ones getting the shine. By the same token, boxing as a sport has kind of fallen off. This is bringing attention to that sport again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I see way more good in this than people realize. I know it's a silly aspect of it. We having one of the GOATs boxers do, but overall, I gotta tell you, I'm pro the event.
Yeah, and I'm attracted to the silly aspect, which is I would like to see an old man smack a millennial around.
Yeah,
I think that's fun as hell.
Hell yeah, more dads should. I'm with it. This is parenting.
What are the experts saying? Could Jake Paul beat a heavyweight champion?
I mean, it's a 40-year difference. There's a huge size difference too.
How old is Mike Tyson?
I believe he's got to be pushing 60, right? He was boxing in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think he's deep 60. I would assume he's 60 on the dot.
Yeah.
In that ballpark.
Yeah.
And Jake is, I believe, earlier mid-20s.
He might be closer to 30. I'm not sure though.
Okay.
But yeah, still that's a major
that's
age
a huge gap in age. Also, there is a height difference. I believe Jake is noticeably taller, so you got the range advantage.
Yeah.
But I've also seen people everyone I know that is a for real fighter that they've dedicated their life to fighting. That never goes away.
Yeah.
There's certain muscle memory that they just always have. They can always, if you throw punches for 4 hours a day for a decade, you can always throw a punch.
Yeah.
The parts that they lose, I think, is more the mental and durability of it, being able to do it for 36 minutes against another elite athlete. But against a regular dude, Tyson will mop the floor with you in your 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One correctly placed punch.
Yeah, and he's going to know how to throw it in a way you don't. Jake, admittedly, has been fighting and training at a semi-pro level, maybe. So I don't know what that difference is. I would assume still one good punch from Tyson takes him out.
Yeah.
With that said, I don't know how good of a boxer Jake is. I haven't watched him to know.
What's the last fight you've been in?
Ooh, so I've been in scuffles.
Yeah.
Relatively recently. But a fight that we was both gonna square up, it's been years.
So what kind of scuffles are we talking? Buddies at a party? You guys have a disagreement?
Nah,
or
I've had
play fighting.
Nah, definitely not happy. I've had 2 times this year. I've had drunk people knock on my door.
This year,
literally 2 weeks ago, I had a drunk dude ring my bell at 2 a.m. That's why I made that very specific reference.
Yeah.
I was sleeping. Gabby woke me up to deal with a drunk guy.
Yeah.
And I tried to give him directions, and it didn't just go smoothly. And we had to do a little shoving, and then
you pushed him out of the gate.
Yeah, I had to get him out the apartment. Yeah, out of the space of the yard.
Yeah.
But stuff like that goes down.
Yeah.
I thankfully never had to do this in front of the kids yet. And even Gabby there, like she was inside, she had like her phone and shit. But like,
it's scary.
Yeah, it's like a thing, you know.
It's like a breach, because that's what I was thinking. Is like I haven't been in a fight in a long, long time. I think the last time I got really physical with somebody was while me and my friends were very drunk. I remember somebody wanted to leave a party. We were trying to force them to stay by like getting in his car, and we like wouldn't let him drive away. And it came to like we were like punching and kicking from the back seat. If it would have looked like it would have looked like wild animals fighting like behind garbage cans or something. Like I hear the rats fighting. The other night I was walking home, I heard rats fighting behind the garbage cans in Bushwick here. Like it would have looked and sounded like that, just drunken idiots kicking and writhing and whatever. And I remember one of my buddies grabbed somebody's leg and was like really wrenching it in a weird way, and it was like, all right, let's all stop. Somebody's gonna break a bone here. But I've never really been in a proper street fight. Yeah, but
I broke up a fight. Aiden like talks about that all the time.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like and
so he was there.
He was in the apartment when it happened, but he didn't see it.
Oh,
he heard about
an
it.
An indoor fight.
No, I was outdoor. He was indoor. So we my parents lived down the block. I was walking to my parents' house. As we were all going in, I saw like a dude like kind of like roughing up a young lady.
Oh shit.
So I went to break it up, and like I didn't fight the dude, but like I definitely kept him apart from the young lady. And like then she started throwing in haymakers because I had him. So I was like, yo, chill. I ain't setting him up for you either.
Yeah.
So I started shaking the dude like, yo, my man, you gotta go, because like, you know, at this point you losing, and like I'm holding you, you know?
Yeah.
And then I came inside. My dad yelled at me because he was like, yeah, like that's the right thing, but like you don't know what's happening. Yeah. And like, you know, now you in danger. But like, then like Aiden heard that interaction. I was like, yo, like that chick was like 5 feet tall. Like, you know what I mean? So, that was probably the last time I was in something where like I genuinely wasn't sure how I was gonna go. Yeah. Like the drunk dude, like he was so drunk that like I knew it was gonna be like a tussle, but I was like, I'm gonna dominate this. Yeah. You know, I felt no fear. You're
just kind of moving the problem
I had
away.
to just get him out. Yeah. Like once he was like stumbling elsewhere, he was gone. I never felt like I was in danger. This one was like, I was like, this could go the other way, but I felt so adamant it was the right thing to do that I was like, I'll do this.
Yeah. That's what I keep thinking is like, if there comes a situation where my kid's security is at stake, like how will I behave or respond, and how's it going to go? And can I land a punch if needed, you know?
But you use your strengths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't start out swinging. I try to talk.
Yeah, I had to de-escalate recently. Yeah. I de-escalated. A guy was walking in the park, like kind of menacingly walking fast after his girl, who had a small child with her, and it looked like he was going to hit this girl. Right. And the closer I got, I noticed he had like a bump on the side of his face, and he was bleeding a little bit because she must have hit him. And the way he was going after her, I was scared he was going to retaliate. So I just said to the guy, I was like, hey, come with me, follow me. And neither of them spoke English, but he did walk with me, and we walked out of the park, and I was able to gather that he came home late from drinking, and she got mad, and she beat him up. And he was just trying to talk to her. And I was like, I don't think you should talk to her. You guys need space. Like, go separate for a little while.
Real talk. Yo, fellas, if you go out drinking, maybe like, you know, have the convo when you sober.
Yes.
You're not, you know what I mean? Like,
nothing productive is ever gonna happen.
That's not when you settle in that discussion, B.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I do think I have a skill for de-escalation, because even all the times I should have been punched out when I was drunkenly obnoxious to somebody, I always talk my way out of it, thank God, because I should be missing teeth for the amount of times I was that guy that people just wanted to rough up.
I believe it. It's a skill, real talk, man. I think people that develop it usually are either in that situation a lot, or like they grew around people that like cause fights, you know what I mean? Like parents and stuff like that. But I do think it's a skill. I think it should be leveraged first. Like, I don't want to be fighting just cause.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk it out. I'm thinking of all my favorite fights now. Like me and my kid brother fought. like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, so my kid, I say my kid brother, he was like 20 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was in my mid-30s.
Did you get the call? Was he in the middle of something and
So-
he called you?
So I got called. No, we was fighting each other. So I got called over. I was coming over and like to settle like an argument he was having with my sister. They were like yelling at each other too much. So I came over to talk.
Yeah.
And we've never like tussled, you know? And like I knew from the look he gave me that like he was like, yo, today ain't the day.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you talk.
He was hot.
Yeah, he was hot, you know, and to his defense, he gave me enough warning signs that like I should have like
He gave you all the information
yeah,
you
like
needed.
that's all the info I needed to be like, yo, let's not press this.
But were you in a mood where you're
But
like,
like-
I want to turn the screws on this
Yeah,
guy?
so like I was like, yo, I was doing shit. I'm already coming over here to settle this. We got to settle this shit.
Yeah.
So we got into the shortest convo before we started fighting. Now, my brother's 6'5". I'm like 6 feet tall, maybe 5'9", 5'11". You know what I mean? So he got the height advantage. He
Yeah.
got the reach advantage.
Yeah.
He's in shape. He plays ball, football, basketball. But I don't think he understands, A, that like I'm legitimately old man strength by comparison.
Yeah. Yeah.
And B, we're in the same neighborhood, but we've lived very different lives. So
Yeah.
I've been in a lot of fights. I do not believe he's been in fights.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we started scuffling, my mom was like, "Oh my God, don't fight." And I'm like, "Mom, this is not going to be a fight."
Yeah.
He thinks it's going to be a fight. It's not going to be a fight. And I want, like, if he ever hears this, I want him to know, I know you're strong. I know you're in shape. It was never a contest. It was so like me just holding him with one hand, like moving him around, and him trying his
The
hardest.
classic cartoon of
Yeah,
like holding
like
him by
real
the
talk.
head. Yeah.
And like I knew he felt defeated because all his excuses were stupid. He's like, "Yo, you lucky I'm in my socks."
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, "I got no grip. You lucky I'm in my socks." I'm like, "You got 6 inches of height on me, my G." Like, what are we talking about, homie?
I think instead of Cartwheel Day, maybe we have a rematch on January 1st, 2025.
Real talk, man. It could go down, man.
What's his name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, the G versus G rematch.
Amen. We're all G's, by the way. Mom is the only one that's not.
Oh, wow.
I'm a junior.
What's your sister?
And my sister's Grace. I named the two of them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
That's such a wholesome ending to that story.
Yeah, yo, real talk. I love them knuckleheads, B. They drive me crazy, but they my people.
Triple G. All right. Well, thanks for coming back, everybody. We're going to see you next week from the studio again. I know we had 2 car episodes in a row, but we're back, baby.
We working, baby.
Have a good one.
Peace. Okay.
Can I do my 1 push-up for the day? Let's see.
Uh-oh.
How's my form?
Okay, that's solid. Oh, he nice with it.
I can do 1.
Well done,
I'm
P.
doing 2 tomorrow.
Amen. I believe in you, brother.